Hello YouTube, Reddit Math here, and now for something completely different. Today's video is going to be a bit of a departure for the channel, as we take a look at a Japanese mobile game by developer Cygames called Granblue Fantasy. Now, Granblue Fantasy is one of the biggest names in mobile gaming in Japan, but is virtually unheard of in the Western world. And since the game hasn't been covered much in Western media, I think it deserves a minute to set the stage before we really dive into the gameplay. For those of you that have been following my channel, you already know that I had taken a bit of a break over the past few months when it came to YouTube. And what you may not realize is that during that same time, I didn't just stop playing games on YouTube, but I didn't have time for gaming much in general. That's how I found myself playing Granblue Fantasy. It was the perfect option for brief periods of gaming on the go. And mobile gaming has experienced a bit of a boost in the past year, with Pokemon Go coming out last year, and the recent release of Fire Emblem Heroes introducing many to the term Japanese gacha game. Now, gacha games based on the term for Japanese gashapon, where you put money into a machine and receive a random prize in a small plastic egg. Now, we have those same types of machines in the US, but I never really had a name for them, and they were never quite the same big deal that they are in Japan. Now, I have tried Fire Emblem Heroes, but honestly, I think Granblue is a much better game, and the lack of coverage for it in the West has made me really want to try to share that experience with you guys. So, I think this really raises two questions. One, what makes Granblue Fantasy so good? And two, why is no one in the US talking about it? Well, question two is really the easier question to answer, so let's tackle that first. Although Granblue Fantasy released in March of 2014, it wasn't until 2 years later that it finally saw an English language option, and the game still isn't available in US app stores, but it is playable within the Chrome browser, both on mobile and desktop. Although a dedicated audience existed before then, the challenge of overcoming Japanese language menus and having no idea what was going on in the plot was a hurdle many, including myself, wouldn't have overcome. So, what makes the game worth it for the 14 million plus people that have registered? Well, Granblue Fantasy is the love child of composer Nobuo Uematsu and art director Hideo Manaba, which are two names I've likely butchered, who had worked together previously on Final Fantasy VI and IX. It's basically a distillation of every old-school Japanese RPG and anime trope you could imagine, and for me, sort of like mainlining nostalgia for an older classic RPG sensibility, just straight into the vein. But it's not just music and art design that make the game good. Although it does have an extreme level of polish to it, there's an underlying story that is quite good, and I think it's poised to be recognized by a wider audience. Granblue Fantasy anime has recently debuted, with the first 2 episodes available now on Crunchyroll. I'll leave a link to the description if you'd like to check that out. And Cygames has partnered with Platinum Games for a PS4 adaptation that's coming next year, both of which I think are going to do their part to introduce this game world to a lot more people. Now, one final thing before we get started with the gameplay. Granblue Fantasy is huge, with over 300 characters, each with its own multi-part side quests when you recruit them and get them to certain levels, daily multiplayer raids, new story events being released basically monthly. With all that in mind, for the purpose of our little Let's Play here, we're going to try to focus on just the main canon story, and set aside a lot of the repetitive notions that are equal parts grind and addictive gameplay that are typical of a mobile game. To do that, this first episode is going to serve as an introduction, with us playing through the tutorial on a brand new character, and once that's out of the way, I'm going to be switching back to my normal account, but then customizing my party to just play using the characters introduced in the main quest, and removing the randomness of the gacha-drawn characters from the equation. Also, to hopefully keep things fresh, I'll try to swap out my main character's class for something new in every chapter, and with around 50 different job classes, that'll keep us busy for quite some time. So, without further ado, let's play Granblue Fantasy. We're here in the Chrome browser right now. I'll drop a link to the Japanese website where you can land at it. When you get here initially, the language will be set to Japanese, but switching that to English and hitting save will then give you an English language menu. Now, you may notice the aspect ratio is quite weird here. Of course, the game is designed originally as a mobile title, and once we get into the game, I'll be able to hit a menu option that is then going to place the gameplay over in this like left third of the screen, some menu options here in the center, and then I'll come up with something to throw down on the right hand side, like an image of our main character, Gran. I can rotate that, or maybe in the future we'll have text there or some kind of insert to expand on a concept that's going on within the gameplay at the time. All right, so let's go ahead and just jump into the opening cinematic cutscene kind of stuff. It'll set up the game world and the story a bit. Now, the game is fully voice acted. It is going to be in Japanese with subtitles. My intention here is to probably let the voice actors do their thing, because some of them are quite good. Some of the names are like mainstays and heavy hitters within Japanese anime and Japanese games. And then during the parts where it's the narrator, I'll likely actually narrate those because they would otherwise be quiet. All right, so let's go ahead and new game.
空の青さを見つめていると、見知らぬ彼方へ帰りたくなる。空の青さに吸われた心は、遥か彼方に吹き散らされる。果てだ。ここは空の果てだ。ついにたどり着いた。我が子よ、星の島、イスタルシアで待つ。厳かに神秘の奉られるこの島に今、始まりの風が吹いていた。
In a world abandoned by the gods, a lone dragon remained. Bahamut, ruler of creation, through destruction, sought to refine the realm the gods left behind into a richer, more bountiful place. But the arrival of invaders from beyond the sky, the Astrals, brought an end to his plans. The Astrals used creatures of terrible power, known as primal beasts, to bring the sky under their control. Long did the skies belong to the stars, but the Sky Dwellers bided their time and learned from their foes. Eventually they fought to take back the skies in a conflict that would come to be known as the War. And here we find the Sky Realm, now a world of fragmented lands floating in a sea of clouds. A new tale is about to begin here, spanning the skies and the stars alike. Viren, who looks much like a lizard but insists otherwise, hovers in the air. Alright, so there are going to be some dialogue choices. Largely they just branch the dialogue responses for just a second, and then kind of steer back on course. They don't really change too much. But to sort of recap there, basically Primal World, there were dragons and then astrals from the sky. They brought primal beasts. There was a big war. Since then, we end up in the Skydom, which is this world sort of made up of free floating islands that we're eventually going to travel between. But we then sort of set all of that larger concept aside to meet up with our main character. This is going to be Gran. You can see him right now as the picture on the right-hand side. And his friend Vern, who, totally unexplained to us at all, is a talking dragon. That's not normal, like most kids in small villages don't have talking dragon friends, but ours does. So we're sort of already set up as something a bit special there. And we know that his father has left, but wrote about the end of the sky, you know, that there's some sort of like physical barrier, or that it isn't just endless blue sky out there, and that we might try to follow wherever our father went using this sky map. So I know that we can reach it.
したっていう。そりゃそれがあればどこだって行けるかもしれねえけどよ。あんなものおとぎ話だぜ。まあ言い出したら聞かないしな。この村でひっそり暮らしてるよりかは全然面白そうだけどさ。待て待て待て、なんだよありゃ。どっかの国の戦艦か。なんだってこんなど田舎に。なんだ今なんか爆発したぞ。
It only lasts for an instant, but something flashes in the distance, etching itself into memory. And I just saw a flash over by the forest. So, in our quote-unquote sleepy village where we've grown up, there just happens to be an Empire warship flying overhead and a random explosion from it. So, you gotta go investigate, right?
なんだって？火ついた軍艦の部品かなんかか？それ、もし燃えたまま森に落ちたんだとしたら。
Yeah, then we'd better check it out. An eerie stillness fills the forest.
軍艦から何か落ちたんなら、多分この辺に。
A long-haired girl bumps into Viren. Her slight figure is accompanied by delicate features and a cascade of beautiful blue hair.
なんだこの嬢ちゃん。見たことない顔だな。
And of course, we gotta check on the girl. Who's she? You gotta make sure she's all right. Are you okay? You're not hurt.
助けてください。おいおい、遺体全体どうしたってんだ。
そこの者、止まれ。剣を足元に置いて両手を上げろ。
And of course she's being chased, right? I mean, I did say RPG and anime tropes, right? So soldiers appear wearing a familiar armor. It belongs to the Erst Empire, which uses military might to force kingdoms throughout the skies to their knees. Given the timing, the group of soldiers appear to have emerged from the brush in chase of the mysterious girl.
なんだてめえら、やるってのか。
命が惜しいなら、おとなしくその少女をこちらに引き渡すことだ。
The soldier's words are not the kind heard in peaceful lands. The soldier's hostile intentions and readiness to act on them are a terrifying prospect for the trio.
さあ、その少女を解放するんだ。手荒な真似はしたくない。
I mean, she did ask for our help. I do also want to point out, like, man, the art style in some of the shots like this, I just think it's like absolutely great.
そうだそうだ、勝手なことばっか言いやがって。この子すげえ怯えてるぞ。
面倒だ。力ずくで行くぞ。ガキが後で後悔するなよ。
And we get the first appearance of Gran. So, of course, luckily the girl happened to stumble into, like the greatest sword master on a random island in the middle of nowhere ever, and we are going to be able to completely defend her here from these attacking guys. Alright, so our first battle tutorial, right? We're going to be doing a very sort of traditional RPG thing, with like our characters on one side of the screen, their characters on the other. We've got a host of skills and attack actions that we can take, that sort of stuff. This first tutorial here is going to talk about the elements and types of damage in the game. So all characters, foes, weapons, and summons have their own element. You can use a superior element against a foe to deal more damage. Alright, nothing to it but to do it. With your sword skills, you can win this. Tap attack to take care of those goons. Alright, so here is the attack button. Pretty central, right? Now, we may not be able to actually do it right now. No, we can't click on Grand. But basically, once you have chosen which skills you want to use and all that kind of stuff, and they go through, attack just sort of auto attacks for the turn, and then ends your turn. Once your party attacks, then the enemy gets a chance to respond, and then it's back to the start of your next turn. So if we attack here, we're to see Grand strike once. It's working, keep it up. After you attack, it's now the enemy's turn. Watch out. Ow. Double ow. And after the enemy turn, now you're up. Time to strike back. Hey, you know about elements, right? They're the key to winning battles. Right now, you've equipped a wind weapon. That means you can deal serious damage to earth enemies. That soldier with the sword is earth. Try tapping on him. And you can tell this because the earth enemy has sort of a brown outline around the character portrait up here, versus the blue one over here, which tells me that he's water. And Vern's covering it up right now, but there is like a little elemental tree thing right behind him so that you can always tell what's going on. Like, water is superior to fire, which is superior to wind, which is superior to earth, which is superior to water. Just a little, I was gonna say triad, but what's like quadrad? That's not a word. All right. So if we decide, we're doing bonus damage to Earth, we want to take out the Earth guy first, we can tap on him in order to select him and target him specifically. Now, good, he's our target, and we attack again. And we're going to do bonus damage to him. Look how much we did to the water guy versus how much we did to the Earth guy. Now, that's some serious damage. It helps use the right element at the right time. Since he's Earth and you're Wind, he can't damage you much. And the same is true in reverse, right? Like, he does 23 versus this guy's 31. You can tap an enemy again to quit targeting it, but let's not change anything for right now. See, this way we're able to, knock out the Earth guy in just 2 hits, and then we're not taking nearly as much incoming damage so that we can finish off the water guy. Alright, that's the spirit. Now let's take down this spear guy. Hey, did you see those things under the enemy's HP bar? Yeah, I did also notice the flashing diamonds. When all of those are flashing red, the enemy will make a charge attack. Be careful. Yeah, that stung a bit. Hey, but now our charge bar is full. We gain charge on every attack that we make, as well as anytime we take damage. Remember, your charge bar fills up whenever you attack or receive damage. Hey, I just said that. Let's go. Squash this guy with your charge attack. Alright. Now, all we have to do to charge attack is just auto attack. You will notice this charge attack auto thing down here. It'll likely be explained by the tutorial later. But if we toggled this off, then we wouldn't automatically use our charge attack. And that'll come into play later when you've got more characters in your party and want to sort of synchronize up when all their charge attacks happen. Now, our charge attack, it's this like cool sort of cutscene-ish thing. And then we murderize him in one blow, basically. Alright, you took down those 2 guys with 1 hit. And tap for next.
どうだ、さすがだぜ。惚れ惚れする剣の腕だな。
Yeah, apparently we're more skillful than 2 trained soldiers.
仲間か、注意しろ。
ルリア、無事か。
カタリナ、
怪我はないようだな。君たちがルリアを守ってくれたのか。
守るっつうかなあ、兵士たちオイラたちのことも狙ってくるもんだから。
あの人、私を助けてくれて、すっごくかっこよかったんだよ。
そうか。とにかく 無事でよかった。
それでよ、あんたらは一体何なんだ？さっきのやつらの仲間ってわけじゃなさそうだけどよ。
失礼した。私はカタリナ・アリゼという。この子はルリア。助けてくれて感謝する。私からも礼を言わせてくれ。君もよかったら名前を教えてくれないか？
My name? Of course. Well, I mean, canonically, the character's name is Gran, but of course we're going to be Red. Names can contain up to 6 characters. Don't include your real name. Yeah, well, I got it. I've been on the internet before.
おいらはビーってんだ。で、二人はどっから来たんだ？あの兵士に追われてんのか？どこから？
そうだ、追われている。なのでここは危険だ。またあの兵士たちが来るだろう。君たちは早く。
カタリナ注意。
A mustachioed officer slowly advances towards Catalina, flanked on both sides by his subordinates.
何をこんなところで道草を食ってるんですかね？注意ともあろうものが単独行動ですか？
ポンメルン大尉、申し訳ありません。直ちにルリアの保護を。
まったく白々しいですね。少女を逃がしたのはあなたでしょ。偉大なるエルステ帝国に盾つこうだなんていい度胸ですね。機密の少女の観察役を賜っておきながらこの仕打ち。最小閣下がどれだけ失望なさるか。あなたなら事の重大さを理解しているはずですね。聖少獣を制御するためにその少女は必要不可欠ですからね。背任は重罪ですよ。
大尉、聖少獣を私たち人間が、それも軍事にその力を利用しようというのは危険すぎるかと。聖少獣は星の民の遺産。かつての大戦で空を焼いた恐ろしい兵器です。その力や正体はまだわからないことも多く、人の手で制御するには。
話題をすり替えないでほしいですね。まったくこれ以上くだらないことに時間を費やしたくありませんね。手っ取り早くやるとしますかね。ここほどの辺境なら村ごと消し去ってしまえば足がつくことはありませんからね。
だと？
邪魔者は排除するのみ。聖少獣を従える力は帝国のものなのですからね。ヒドラを出しなさい。はっ。
Well, that sounds bad.
ヒドラ、まさか。
そのまさかですよ、注意。あなたにもちゃんと責任を取ってもらいますからね。
ヒドラを使う。参加して後方に陣を張れ。
Oh yeah, that's bad.
化け物どこから？あのヒゲのおっさんが連れてきたってのか？カタリナ。
本当にこの島ごと焼き払うつもりか。そこまでしてルリアの力を利用しようというのか、帝国は。
だからそうだと言っているでしょう。帝国が全空の支配者となるための礎として必要なのですからね。 その研究の一環としてこの島にある清少の祠を探しに来たわけですが、まさかそれに乗じて脱走を図るなど手花をくじかれた気分ですよ。
カタリナ、ごめんなさい。私がわがままを言ったせいでこんなことに。
ルリア、外の世界を見せると約束したんだ。必ず約束は守ってみせる。
おいおい、やるってのか、あいつと。
Yeah, I mean, maybe don't fight a nine-headed Hydra by yourself as, like, a young boy from a village. So, let's recap for just a moment while we've got a break in the action. What we've basically been able to learn is that Lyria was some sort of science experiment on the part of the Empire, right? Like, many moons ago, the Astrals waged a war against the dragon Bahamut. And the Astrals employed primal beasts as one of the weapons of war that they constructed. And the Empire's found some way to use Lyria to control these primal beasts. And, of course, that is like a horrible thing. You know, they've got like a small girl trapped on a ship doing science experiments on her. Catalina, the knight captain that was sort of charged to safeguard her, eventually turns on the Empire and breaks her free. And that's more or less where we run into them during their story. We'll go ahead and go with it's now or never charge.
どいつもこいつも現実ってものが見えてないようですね。ヒードラー！まずはそこのガキからだ。血祭りにあげて差し上げなさい。
I think he just called me a moppet. That didn't go very well.
しっかりしろよ、
くっくっくっく。なんとあっけない。
民間人、それも子供を。パメルン、貴様どこまで腐った？
おい。なあ、嘘だろ。冗談だよな。返事しろよ、なあ、おい。大丈夫だから。
この光は
村の祠の清少が反応してやがる。この嬢ちゃん。
ほう、これが例の祠だったわけですね。しかしこれは一体。
大丈夫。私の力あなたに預けます。
So, because you don't really need to be told, fighting a Hydra when you're a small boy with a sword is kind of a bad idea. It didn't go very well for us, and we kind of died, except Lyria was there and has some sort of as yet unexplained powers. She was able to resurrect us, but there's a cost to that we're going to learn a little bit more about later. Now, this is a tutorial for how summons work. Summons support your party by dealing damage, boosting stats, or debuffing foes. They can be summoned after 5 turns. So we'll go ahead and start this tutorial. Hey, are you okay? Surely that was a fatal blow. But it's no matter. Play nicely, Hydra. Now, this fight... I still can't access Grant. This fight is not going to go terribly well for a while. But we're basically going to have a pocket nuke that's going to get us out of it. So as we attack, and we see we did nothing to his bar. Alright, it's not working at all. Yeah, it's not helped by the fact that, you know, we're equipped with a wind sword, he's a fiery guy, all that kind of stuff, as we just learned about in the elemental tutorial. It's not working at all, but it'll be alright. We attack again. Do basically nothing again. It looks as if you're having some trouble. Lousy old... Anyway, we have to keep attacking. I do love Pommel's, is it Pommel? Pommern? The commander there. Like, anytime he does the mocking, like, cry, I think that is hilarious. And translates very well, apparently, from Japanese into English. Anyway, we have to keep attacking. Now, this is about to be bad. I'm quite bored now, and it's about time we finish this. So, we're like 350 health. He's about to do his charge attack, which I'm hoping we live through. Okay, barely. Lovely. No way. Is this the end? But it's ready now. I give you the power of the primal crystals. Alright, so over here we've got this like summon menu. And right now we've been imparted with just a single summon by Lyria. As we click on it, we're going to find the summon that we have is Bahamut. Now, you may remember Bahamut as like the kind of primordial dragon that initially fought off the Astrals, more or less singularly, I guess, like just him versus them. This is like a small piece of his total power, but it's going to be enough for us today. So we'll select Bahamut. As you see, it has both a call and an aura effect. Basically, the aura is always in effect as long as it's your main summon, and the call happens for any of the eventual summons you could put here, but only whenever you use it. And of course, Bahamut's big call is going to be big dark damage to all foes. So we'll OK on him. And I love the summon animations. It's one of the things that really sold me like on the game when I first started playing, was just seeing like all of the cool animations from that. So, you know, when we're doing like 30 damage per hit, he lays down a 5,000, and that pretty much puts the Hydra in the ground. What's this? Bahamut? It should have been mine. Whew. Somehow we did it. A summon? She can't be. Seems like Vern like knows something about Lyria that we don't. Now, you may think like, oh, well, of course, like Red's just being condescending here. It's been a long time since I played through this, like months ago, and honestly, I don't feel like I was paying that much attention. I had only just started playing the game. I wasn't sure I was going to keep playing the game. A lot of the dialogue and story notes I just sort of tapped through or ignored on my phone, and it's kind of nice for me to be able to see it all again, and like the multi-layered hints and sort of subterfuge going on early on in the quests. Anyway, so through the power of Lyria, basically, we're able to summon Bahamut and demolish this primal beast that the Empire has, and save our own skin.
バカなヒドラが一撃でやられてしまっただと。バカなバカなバカなバカな、そんなバカなですね。
おい、今だ。ここを離れるぞ。
こっちだ。意識ははっきりしているようだが、早く傷の手当てをしないと。
Thanks to Lyria's mysterious powers, Red was able to summon a primal beast and defeat the Hydra. The group takes advantage of the confusion to slip away. With Catalina acting as a guide, they escape the forest. Sergeant Stash is such a great nickname.
さっきの青少獣バハムートって言ったか？眠っていた青少が覚醒したってのか？けど青少獣は星の民にしか操れねえはずだし、そもそも青少獣は何百年も前に破空戦争で全滅したんじゃねえのかよ。
ルリアの力だ。この子は星の民にしか従わぬ青少獣を操ることができる。そしてこれもルリアの力なのだろうか。
Catalina casts a curious look at Red. The deep flesh wounds from the Hydra's claws have vanished.
平気なのか？痛みは体に違和感はないか？
Nah, I mean, I seem to be fine.
カタリナ、この人は命がけで私を助けてくれたよ。けどそのせいでひどい怪我を負って、この人の命は輝きを失った。だから私自身の命をリンクさせたの。今度は私がこの人を助けるために。そう、これから私とあなたは文字通りの一心同体。私とあなたは一つの命を共有することになる。ごめんなさい、不便な体になっちゃって。でもあの時はこうするしか。
Yeah, I think thanks is sort of an understatement. So, this is fleshed out a little bit more in the anime, but I guess the concept there was that the main character's life force sort of began to slip away, and Lyria responded to that by taking sort of half of her life force or soul, splitting it in two, giving half to Gran or Red and half within herself. So we're now two bodies that are sharing the same soul. This has left us at a situation where we're effectively inseparable. And in fact, I don't think it's ever said in the game at all, but the anime makes it clear that if we ever get too far apart, like, we'll start to die. So literally, like, our destinies are now intertwined. Despite having just witnessed a number of strange phenomena, Red is forced to accept them as real.
それと、さっきの召喚は私だけの力じゃありません。あの青少獣、バハムートはあなたを守るように現れて、むしろ力を貸してくれたというか。
たまげたな。こりゃすげえぜ。おいら、こいつは昔からやるやつだと思ってたぜ。
おい、いたぞ。こっちだ。
造影に見つかっちまったみてえだな。やれるか？
一度死にかけているんだ。無理はするものじゃない。ここは私が。
いいのか？あんた一応あの帝国の騎士なんだろ？
聞いていたろう。私が帝国を裏切ってルリアを逃がしたんだ。話は後だ。さあ構えろ。敵が来るぞ。
Alright, so we're going to see our first fight with both our main character and Catalina. About skills and special attacks. Use of skills and charge attacks to gain the upper hand in battle. Use at least 2 characters' charge attack in the same turn to trigger a chain burst. Okay, we'll carve out a path, but first let's crush these guys. So you may have seen like that loading screen where it showed sort of like 3 battles along the way. That's going to be very sort of emblematic of the way the combat is going to happen in the actual story chapters once we get out of the tutorial. where a lot of times there will be these sort of pre-fights and then oftentimes like a boss battle at the end. The pre-fights are actually to be used to your advantage to sort of get yourself staged for the boss fight. You know, casting your appropriate buffs and having a little bit of time to build up your charge bar before getting into the fight. So we'll cover that path, but first let's crush these guys. We still can't use skills yet, so all we can really do is auto attack. Not too bad. Took out about half of him. So he's Earth, so he's like... Oh, there we go. So he's Earth, so he's hurting Catalina more since she's water. You can tell because of her symbol right there. But then we're Wind, and so we can hurt him even more. Catalina, you're water, so those Earth attacks have got to hurt. You're right, but as long as you're here with a different element, we'll escape this mess. Yeah, you should always think about your party members' elements. Now let's go. Now what you should actually do, like 99% of the time, is have a party that's all the same element and just use that to your advantage. If you're going to be fighting Earth enemies, you should come into it with an all-wind party, that sort of thing. But we're going to basically be ignoring that during our Let's Play and just taking the main characters with us and using the elements that they come with. So, we should be able to take them out in this next hit, no problemo. And that'll move us on to the second fight in this Battle 2 of 3. And then this symbol tells us that there's a boss at the end. Yeah, there's more than one battle in a row. This shows how many battles are left. So up at the top, Battle 2 of 3. It looks like we have one more battle after this. All we have to do is make it through. We can do it. Yay! Alright, so this guy's Wind. He's not going to be very good against either of us. We're not going to be good against him. Again, it'll be fine. Great. We do, basically, we just want to see our charge bars get fully up. So that we're there to use those at the boss fight. Actually skipped whatever that tip was, but skills can be used in battle after a set number of turns. They can be saved for later, but let's use one for now. That's kind of a misnomer, if you like. They're always available, like, right at the beginning. You have all your skills, and then once you use them, they're on a cooldown. So, for example, she has Heal. She can use it right at the beginning, and then after she uses it, it's on a 6-turn cooldown. This restores all party members. Catalina is basically your traditional sort of paladin class. She's got some healing abilities, some protective abilities. She's a very defensive character, that sort of thing. Early on, great. She can heal your party, and she will eventually unlock a skill that's sort of a damage protection wall for your entire party. So we'll go ahead and cast this. We'll get some nice HP back out of it. Excellent. Now we can keep up with the fight. Go back. And I still can't use Grand's first ability. Okay. I will attack again, which should take this guy out. And we'll head on. Now, I would explain a concept, but I'm like 99% sure the tutorial is about to take the win for my sales. So let's let them try it first. Looks like your charge attack is ready, but hold off on it for now. And exactly. Let's use our charge attacks together to create a chain burst, and we'll crush the enemies. You can decide when to use your charge attack. I'm not ready yet, so let's save it for later. So here's that charge attack auto that I was talking about earlier. Basically what's going to happen here is if I was to attack, my charge bar is full and I would use my charge attack, but Catalina's isn't, and she wouldn't be able to use hers until another turn. So by skipping it, we can then coordinate the attack and we get a bonus for doing so. So we'll turn that off. Good. Now you can hold your charge attack for the next turn. Let's go. And you'll notice, assuming nobody attacks her, which will probably happen, but she'll gain 10 off of this attack. And does anybody attack her back? Yeah, they do. Okay, so she'll hit 100. Now we're ready. Let's use our charge attacks. All right. The reason that I was going to point that out was there's, in addition to gaining charge bar by attacking or getting hit, you also gain it anytime somebody uses a charge attack, which means you don't necessarily need it to be at 100 to still go off on that same turn as other characters. There will be a tutorial for that later, but just to sort of mention it now. Now, when you attack, we'll use our charge attack at the same time and get them with the chain burst. Right, so we should see the animation for both. I throw out a double slash, very nice, and the Catalina has Icy Strike, also very nice. And then we'll do a burst together, Arrow Detonation, which will hit both of them. Beautiful. It worked. Chain bursts are stronger when more members make charge attacks together. A chain burst element is the same as the first member who attacks. This time you went first, so the chain burst dealt wind damage. Wow, you got them all at once.
ここにいたのでは追い詰められるのは時間の問題か。やむをえん、この島を出るぞ。小型艇を用意してある。
成り行きとはいえ、お前が夢見た空の旅ってやつに出発だな。腹くくれよ。
Now, I would probably question how Catalina managed to stash this ship as like a member of the Empire's army, but this is a suspension of disbelief, I guess. So I am ready for anything. But basically what we're saying here is we need to get off the island. And in the world of Granblue Fantasy, the way you get off an island is on a flying ship, like the one that we saw the Empire cruising around in earlier.
相変わらず潔いやつだな。そういうとこは親父さんそっくりだぜ。
ねえカタリナ、あの二人って本当に仲がいいんだね。
ああ、そのようだ。しかし無邪気にはしゃぐ B 君を見ているとなんとも穏やかな気持ちになるよ。
カタリナは前から好きだもんね。小動物とかモフモフしたものとか。
ああ、って和んでいる場合ではなかったな。さあ行こう。船はこっちだ。
Alright, got it.
いよいよだな。
これからよろしくお願いしますね。
The gang boards a small Imperial airship and sets sail from Red's secluded island home. Hurtling towards a seemingly boundless sea of golden clouds, they're overcome not with fear, but with a sense of hope.
空だ。空を飛んでるぜ、オイラたち。なんな、これからこの船でオイラたちはどこに行くんだ？
そうだな。君が目指しているというのは空の果てでいいんだったな。空の果て、星の島イスタルシアか。星の民が住んでいるという伝説の島だ。険しい旅になるかもしれないぞ。
分かってら、そんなの百も承知だぜ。
そうか。であればまずは空域を分断している小流域を越えなくてはなるまい。そしてそれは私の目的にも合致する。このファータグランデ空域はエルステ帝国の勢力圏だからな。
こんなにお空が広いのに帝国は追ってくるのかな。
きっと追ってくる。だが心配することはない。何せ空は無限だからな。ファータグランデ空域の外に出れば帝国ももう追っては来れないはずだ。
なんであれ、とにかく長い旅になりそうだな。
ああ、我ながら見切り発車だが空の果てを目指す旅か。なんだかワクワクしてきたよ。とはいえまずは旅の支度を整えようか。大きな町には気空団の世話をしてくれるよろず屋があるはずだ。ここからだと近いのはポートブリーズかバルツ公国ならきっとよろず屋があるだろう。
これから新しい世界へと旅立つんですね。カタリナと B さんとあなたと、もしかしたらもっとたくさんの人と
新しい出会いもあるかもな。何が待ち受けてるかなんて言ってみないとわかんねえけどよ。 空の彼方へ至る旅の始まりだ。
Red's soul, now one with Lyria's, the time has come to bid farewell to home. As though sent by Red's father from the other side of the infinite sky, a gentle blue breeze blows across the young voyager's hair. Awesome. And that is going to be the end of our tutorial. Now there is more tutorializing here, right? Like it's going to go over how we can travel between map sectors and all of that kind of stuff. But once you're in the main game, you can at any time replay previous chapters. And so I'm actually going to be able to just simply replay chapter 1 with my other character. But the tutorial is a only do once kind of thing. So that's going to wrap it up for this episode. If you're still on the edge about like whether or not this is anything that you might enjoy playing or enjoy watching, I might ask that you give the next episode like slightly more of a chance, just because that's going to be where we really get into like what the gameplay looks like, and we have the full set of options. For right now, during the tutorial section, like we never even saw what our character's skills were or any of that kind of stuff, because we just couldn't open the menu. So we had very few options when we were getting into fights. Starting in the next episode, we'll have party mechanics and class skills and all that kind of stuff, and I'll do my best to tutorialize them myself, and we'll go over those together. I do hope you guys enjoyed this episode. If you did, feel free to subscribe. There's lots more on the channel. You can leave a like or a comment if you have anything to say about this or any of my other videos, and I will catch you guys next time.